Okay, for your midterm review, we're going to go over a couple of these questions and um, get you ready for this test on tomorrow. So it says, what is the value of the smaller zero of the function f of x equals 2x squared minus 8x minus 24? All right, so you know that we know that the zeros are the same as the x-intercepts, roots, and solutions. They're all the same thing. So the first thing we need to do is graph this function into decimals. All right, once you graph this function into decimals, you're going to see where the solutions are. Okay, now first things first, we need to remember what the degree is. Okay, so the degree equals the highest exponent. Okay, so because the degree is the highest exponent, we look at our function. Our highest exponent here is 2, so that means our degree of this function is 2. So since the degree is 2, that means we're going to have two roots for this functions, or two zeros. Okay, so when I graphed it, I have my two zeros. I have -2 and I have 6. Okay, so it says, what is the value of the smaller zero? Our smaller zero is -2, so here we're going to write x equals -2. Okay, so for number 2, it says the graph of the function mx equals x squared plus 3x squared minus 2x minus 4 has a 0 at -1. What are the other zeros of the function? Okay, again, we look at our degree. Our degree is 3, so that means we should have 3 roots for this one. Okay, and we already know that one of them is -1. So what we're going to do first is we're going to type in the function into decimals. All right, so I typed in my function and I have it in decimals, and I'm going to click on where they all cross the x-axis. I have 3 points that cross the x-axis, so that means that these are my 3 roots, or 3 zeros. Okay, so we said we had one at -1. This is the one we have at -1. Okay, so we have that one at -1. I'm going to take that one off, and we see the other two. When we did the lesson before, I told you if you have decimals, then you are going to end up having rational roots, okay, or zeros. So I'm going to write these two down, -3.236 and 1.236. And what we're going to do is we're going to type in the rational into decimals to see which ones match either one of these decimals. So if I do this here, I got -1, so I'm going to go -1 plus square root of 5. And it gives me -1.236. Okay, so we already know, we already have half of whatever the root is. So I know that when I type in -1 minus the square root of 5, it should give me the same thing. -1 minus square root 5, I get -3.236. So my answer for number 2 should be C. Okay. All right, let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 is dealing with your transformations. You got to remember that when we're dealing with transformations, that our function, our original function for transformations is f of x equals x minus h plus k. Don't forget the a in the front. A times x minus h plus k. Okay, this right here in the middle, the h lets us know if we're going left to right. And then our k lets us know if we go up or down. And this is our vertical stretch or compress. Okay, so looking at this function right here, we have a plus 14 in the middle. So the plus 14 lets us know that if it's adding 14, remember the original function has a minus h. So if it's a plus 14, that means that's actually a minus 14, which means it goes in the direction of the negatives on our graph, which means it's going to go left. So looking at our answer choices, which ones tell us where it goes left? 14. We got B and we got D. Okay, and then this portion tells us minus 12. All right, we know if it's not going to go, it's given as is. When it's up or down, these are as is. So if it's minus 12, that means the graph is going to go down 12. So my answer for number 3 should be B. Okay? All right, number 4. It says find x. So if I want to find x, I have to use the function where this right here is segments. So we do segment times segment equals segment times segment. So we do 6 times x equals 4 times 12. Okay, so you're going to solve this on your own and get your answer. You remember, anytime you see one of these with the numbers at the segments, it's segment times segment equals segment times segment. All right, I'm going to let you do this one on your own. It says which expression is equivalent to x squared minus 2x minus 37 divided by x squared minus 3x minus 40. Same thing when we're doing division. I told you if you have multiple choice answers, you put this on line 1, all of this goes on line 1, and then all of your answer choices go on the other lines and see where they overlap. Number 6, it says in rectangle FGHI, diagonals FH and GI intersect at E. Okay, so we have IE equals 3x plus 4. And EG equals 5x minus 6. Okay, what is the length of FH? FH, we got to think about what we know about parallel rectangles. Rectangles, the diagonals bisect each other. So we're going to do 3x plus 4 equals 5x minus 6. Once you solve this, you should be able to find the whole length of FH. I'm not going to tell you how to find the whole length, but once you find your x, I think you should know what you need to do with that x. So find your x using this much, and then you can be able to find your answer for this one. Again, use your Desmos. Take your function. Y equals. Okay? All right, number 7, f of x equals x plus 4 cubed plus 1. X is less than negative 3. And 5, where x is greater than or equal to negative 3. Our function is f of negative 4. So the first thing you do when you're dealing with piecewise functions, your f of negative 4 is like saying f of x. So your x is equal to negative 4 right here. So we need to see where negative 4 fits. Okay? Is negative 4 less than negative 3? Or is negative 4 greater than or equal to negative 3? We know that negative 4 is less than negative 3, so it goes into this function. So you can do it two ways. You can say f of x equals x plus 4 cubed and put it in decimals like this. Well, I'll show you decimals last. Or you could just plug the function, the x in. So we can go do negative 4 plus 4 cubed plus 1. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So 0 cubed plus 1 equals 0 cubed is 0. So 0 plus 1 equals 1. Okay, That's the first way to do it. Or for those that don't want to do the math and want to do it in decimals, you can do f of x equals x plus 4 cubed plus 1. Okay, and you have your function, and you can go to the table and go to type in -4. Why is it hitting divide? Sorry, y'all. -4, and you get 1. Okay, -4, and you get 1. Or you can just do f of -4, and you still get your 1. Okay, 3 ways to get your answer. All right, number 8. It says the diameter of a circle is 20 inches. The central angle is 2 inches. What is the length of the arc? Okay, a diameter of a circle is 20 inches. And a central angle is 2 radians. What is the length of the arc? Okay, so I'm going to help you out with this one. Arc length equals, because it's in radians. It's in radians. Arc length equals radius times theta. Okay, radius times theta. So fill in the question. Fill it in to get your answer. Arc length equals radius times theta. Okay, the central angle will be your theta, and you have a diameter of 20 inches. You got to find your radius from the diameter, and then you'll find your answer. All right, this one says identify whether the given intervals A to D below are increasing, decreasing, positive, or negative. So right here, I know that if I identify A to D, so from -2 to -1, okay, from -2 to -1. I'm going to use my highlighter so you guys can see it. From -2 to -1 is this portion right here. So from -2 to -1, the graph is below the x-axis. So because it's below the x-axis, this is negative. Okay? It's negative. It's below the x-axis. So anytime it's below the x-axis, that is your negative part of the graph. Okay? And then from negative infinity to -1.5. From negative infinity to -1.5. So that's from this all the way over here to just this portion right here. Okay? So the graph from here to here is decreasing because it's going down. So this is your decrease. All right? From -1.5. From -1.5 to 1.5. So -1.5 to 1.5. So from there, from here to here, the graph is going up. So it's an increase. And -1 to 3. -1 to 3. -1 is here. So from -1 to 3. So from this portion to this portion, the graph is above the x-axis. So that is your positive portion. Okay? I hope you understand that. Okay? And then this one says, Susie invests $500 in an account that is compounded continuously. Compounded continuously. It already told you the formula was PERT. Okay? PERT. All right. She had Susie invested $500, that's our P, at an annual interest rate, that's your R, of 5%, where A is the amount accrued and P is the rate, and T is the time in years. Approximately how many years will it take Susie to double her money? So it's asking you, you don't know T, so your P is equal to 500. R is equal to 0.05. Your T is X because we don't know. But it's asking you how long will it take Susie to double her money. Her money was $500. So to double $500, you're going to do Y equals 1,000. Okay? So your equation is 1,000 equals 500 E to the 0 point, let me write that a little bit neater. 1,000 equals 500 E raised to, in parentheses, 0.05 X. Okay, and then we know how to use Desmos, so let's plug it in and we're going to split it in the middle. Y equals, and you should look for your point of intersection. Okay, for number 11, we're dividing. Same thing. Y'all know how to do this. We're dividing, and then once you get your answer, circle it. All right. For 12, it says ABCD is a parallelogram. If the measure of angle CDA equals 81, then the measure of angle DAB equals. Measure of angle CDA equals 81, then the measure of DAB equals. Y'all can do that one on your own. Think about the properties of parallelograms. There is an anchor chart in the room. Sarah is watching a monitor that shows the location of ships in the ocean. These locations are displayed on a coordinate grid to avoid collisions. A safety zone with a radius of 4 units is kept around each ship. Sarah notices that one ship at point -2, 3. Which equation represents the edge of the safety zone for this ship? All right. They told you that the safety zone of the ocean is located. It's coordinate grid. This is talking about your circles again. So we notice that one ship is at point -2, 3. It says which equation represents the edge of the safety zone. So if this ship is at that point, that's letting you know that this ship is in the center. So your center is -2, 3. And it tells you the safety zone radius is 4. So which one of these represents that safety zone? All right. This one says it's medians. So you got to think about your centers of triangle. Medians are centroid. Okay. So we got triangle ABCD. I'm sorry, ABC intersect at D. And so it says, if the length of BE is 12, what is the length of BD? All right, so remember, 2 parts and 1 part. Okay, 2 parts and 1 part. A center has 2/3 parts. All right, you're looking. And so what I want you to do now is that we're almost to the end. For 15, it says given f of -1 equals -3/4x plus 2, which is the inverse. To solve this one, I told you, every time you have an inverse, equation to equation. Equation on line 1, y equals x, then plug the rest in and see where they reflect. Okay? For number 16, make sure you pay attention to the multiplicities and build your equation by the factors. So if the root is -2, the factor is x plus 2. Okay? It has multiplicity of 1. X equals 1, so that means the root is x x minus 1. And it says multiplicity of 2, so that means it's squared. And then x equals 3, so the factor is x minus 3, and it has multiplicity of 1. And it says also passes through point 0, -12. So this is letting you know the y-intercept. Okay? So x plus 2, x minus 1 squared, x minus 3. It says it has those three distinct zeros. So it says, which of the following shows P of X? Which one of these is P of X? But you got to remember that it has a y-intercept at 0, -12. So what you're going to do, plug that in Desmos. This is your factors, and then match. But first you got to think, what is the degree of this? You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 2 is here, 3, 4. So the degree is 4. So if the degree is 4, you already know A and B are not going to be answers, because the highest degree for those are 3 and the highest degree for these are 4. Okay? So your answer is either going to be C or D. So make it easier on yourself. Plug this one in and plug in C or D and see which one is going to be the correct answer. Okay? All right, I hope this review helps. You will have this midterm test tomorrow. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.